Breaking news, LEGO Fortnite is going to the Grand Theft Auto style. The Bricklink designer program has some new guidance you need to know about, and of course more and more rumors for summer 2025. That and much more on this week's Breaking News.
Today's episode is brought to you by Back2Brick, my newest venture into the A-full merchandise, the ultimate LEGO-inspired clothing line that's not just fashionable, but also celebrates the very foundation of the LEGO system we all know and love. Imagine minimalist designs that seamlessly blend style and nostalgia. Back2Brick brings you high-quality apparel inspired by the iconic LEGO bricks we know and love. Each piece is crafted with precision and attention to detail, making it a must-have for any LEGO enthusiast. These aren't just your average threads. We're talking about minimalist designs that don't scream at you, but just show your nerddom in a classy way. And of course, they're inspired by designs found in the LEGO system. And you know what screams quality? Embroidery. Almost every piece is stitched with love, featuring those iconic LEGO elements. It's like wearing your childhood memories, but making them fashionable. So whether you're a hardcore A-full or just want to rock some seriously cool gear, check out the Back2Brick Wear page on Etsy. Dive into the collection, embrace the LEGO spirit, and let's make some memories together. Back2Brick Wear, where the style meets nostalgia. Head over to the Back2Brick Etsy page and let the fashion adventure begin. Happy building, my friends.
Lego.
Breaking news. Breaking news.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Back2Brick. I'm your host Garrett, and this is the podcast where we talk with fellow A-fulls about their LEGO designs, and we get down to the breaking news to talk about all things LEGO's been up to for the past week. Thank you so much for tuning in to this week's podcast. If you are not subscribed, I'd love if you could, then you can catch up on all the latest news every week as I put one episode out each week throughout the entire year so that you can catch up on all the news that you may have missed through the week within the LEGO community. You can also check us out on Instagram at Back2Brick2 and over on YouTube as we finally hit 3,000 subscribers, and I'm continuing to grow it as I'm coming up with some new ideas and just trying to adjust to what exactly I want this channel to continue to be like. It's been over a year since I've left my previous job, and I'm trying to see what is more successful and what the LEGO community wants to see because, well, a lot of people are getting into the ambassador program. I'm still trying to do so myself. Just want to make sure that I'm doing the right thing so that I am an individual. I am showing who I am alongside this podcast. I also want to give a shout out to all our patrons that are supporters of the podcast. They get the podcast early without ads and get to see some part of the LEGO community and enjoy really supporting the Back2Brick brand. Bellefonte Brick Studio, Jimmy Tucker, Ryan S., David, Matthew Vander Boogart, Paul Snellen, Lee Jackson, and Pop's Block Shop. Thank you again for being supporters of this brand. I really appreciate your support. Well, really of me in this case. On the admin side, I'm just working on some new projects, so that's pretty much it. And coming up on the Christmas season here, our set reviews that we'll do at the end of the episode, as I always do, our LEGO set is 10334, a retro radio, and our Rebrickable mock, stand by for the name, but you'll get it, the USS Enterprise NCC 1701E MIDI scale. That's from Star Trek The Next Generation, First Contact, Insurrection, and Nemesis by Skyfox 2K. Very excited to talk about that as I'm a huge Star Trek nerd myself, and we talked about it. Maybe LEGO will pick it up as their license. Fingers crossed. All right, enough of my chatter. Let's get into this week's first story of the breaking news. LEGO and Fortnite have expanded, this time calling it the Fortnite Brick Life. It's a social role-playing experience, and it launched this December 12th. The LEGO Fortnite game is also being renamed at the same time. It is now LEGO Fortnite Odyssey, and it also launched this past week. This is now a new way to explore with friends, see sights, live up to your dream jobs, and just enjoy kind of an open world experience of a new, I guess, like metaverse, I guess you could call it. There's different characters, different villains, and it creates a life inside LEGO. It looks really cool. It's kind of what you'd think like a Grand Theft Auto, but a little more user and family friendly. And it adds on to the Fortnite brand that LEGO has been building. The Fortnite idea that LEGO has joined up with, I think, has expanded really well. They've done their own games, and we'll probably see some more games coming soon. But this is just a hugely popular branding already with Fortnite. So LEGO with it, as I've said many, many times, is one of their best options that they've ever chosen for the video game era. LEGO comes out with their advent calendars every year, and some of them usually sell out. Star Wars, unfortunately, I did not get that, has already sold out. as it goes on discount pretty quickly on Amazon and Walmart, and then it's just gone. Right now, there's a total of 6 different ones that we know of: Star Wars, Marvel, Disney, Harry Potter, City, and Friends. And there's some rumors going around that next year they're not going to be doing the Marvel Advent Calendar. And to be honest, I couldn't care less. The Marvel Advent Calendar is never that good. It was kind of a struggle its first year, not figuring out like what they could do. Star Wars is nice because they do sets that are in that midi scale of ships, and Lego Star Wars minifigures are hugely collectible, so people try to get those as well. Friends and Harry Potter are the next best ones because they have that creative design as well, and some really cool minifigures or doll figures. So I don't think it's really going to be missed that much if the Marvel one disappears next year. Speed Champion next year is getting some fun new summer sets. We've already seen that they're coming out with some F1 sets earlier in the springtime, but we're looking to get a Dodge Challenger Hellcat race car. It's going to be about $27, which is what they've been doing for the other sets. A Lamborghini Revolta and Huracan. I don't actually know. Well, that's not true. I do know the difference to some degree because there's different inlets for the venting on either side, the lights in the front, and it's probably going to be a dual pack at $45. A Porsche 911 GTS R3 supercar, so that's got the rear fin and primarily for racing, also $27. And then this one would be an interesting one, is the Bugatti Centro di Serie sports car. I don't know. It looks really cool. It's very futuristic. Smaller grille than a Bugatti Chiron or what was the one before that? I can't remember. But Bugatti is a really impressive car brand, and all of these are really impressive. I'm excited to see these. They've done some great designs with the latest ones, having more and more detail, like the G-Wagon and the F1 cars as they're bringing out more detail. So these will be great fun, and I know a lot of fans of the Speed Champion sets are going to be excited. The Lego Disneyland stores in downtown Disney has opened, as we talked about last year, but they've added some new things that I really want to get. They've created some iconic posters from Disney out of Lego. So we have Peter Pan, we have little minifigure Tinkerbell, Brick Build, Big Ben, Indiana Jones, the old school poster with the Lego minifigure in the front there. The best one is the Haunted Mansion. It has the 3 hitchhiking ghosts and the Lego mansion in the background. And there's 3 others: the Buzz Lightyear ride, which is iconic in a lot of families, of course, the competitiveness. The old school car ride with the mini cars, and then Pirates for the Pirates of the Caribbean ride with a pirate and his treasure chest. They're all super cool, and I just wish they would sell them. As of right now, they do not. Hopefully, we'll see them on Lego Insiders as rewards here soon. But yeah, everybody loves Lego and Disney. These posters are just awesome. I'd love to have all 6 of them. January 1st is going to be a massive shopping day. We've already talked about it before. So just stay tuned for that. I know we talked last week about quite a few of those sets. I'm just bringing it up so that you are aware as you go into Christmas this next week of what you might be wanting come January 1st. The new Lego Mario Kart series is not coming out until January 1st. It does look cool, but I was a little disappointed that they didn't come out with the remote control one. Hopefully that will be one of the newest direct-to-consumer ones, like a bigger scale one would be really, really cool. But they've already extended the retirement date. It was supposed to retire at the end of 2025 because that's usually what they do. They do the first year, and they've now scheduled it from all the way to August of 2026 because I'm wondering if they're expecting success with this. I think that Mario Kart is such a beloved feature in the Mario series and Nintendo. I think we will continue to see more and more as they continue to build and expand, since they've done that with a lot of the Mario sets. And Mario Kart is no different. So I'm excited to see this on January 1st alongside the other almost 100, other sets that are coming out in January. LEGO is looking to expand their Fauna collection. The first one we got was the macaws, where we had the yellow and pink parrot. semi 3D, mostly two-dimensional, that you could have as wall art. And the next one they're rumoring is continuing with the animal theme of a tiger at about $60, and this is going to come out in summer of this year. Then there's a larger one at $120 and even a bigger one at $200. I have no idea what that's going to be. Hopefully we see like a three-dimensional T-Rex head, which would be really funny to do and have that on your wall. But those are going to be pretty large compared to what we've seen, and the detailing has only gotten better for the animal series, so the fauna set is going to be fun. The Bricklink Designer Program Series 7 is starting this January, and we've talked about it already, but they had their webinar recently where they updated their new guidelines, the building palettes that you can find in Bricklink Studio, and they've created some continued guidance updates, one of them including the avoidance of depicting fossil fuels such as coal, oil, or gas, specifically like for refineries, factory chimneys, fuel storage, and fuel stations. They've already done some old school trains that are acceptable, such as the steam train, and they've already been gone through twice for that. And the second guidance is you cannot show destruction of natural environment for human benefit. That includes deforestation, logging, mining, land development, and monoculture plantations. We've already seen the recent gold mine expedition getting approved, so it's likely we're not going to see anything more like that. So these new guidance measures need to be put in place for your own mental practice as you build in the Bricklink Studio program going forward. And there'll be more and more continued guidance each series, so just make sure you're paying attention so that you can update your models or completely new builds for this. The newest modular set coming out this next January is the Tudor Corner, and it's just a continuation of the modular building collection, and it has two main building structures, and one is a blue corner section, and the designer has actually depicted exactly where this should be placed. The blue building is pretty classic, complements the other modular buildings, and fits pretty well if you connect it in that way, but the other side has a little alleyway with stairs, explained Zapfa to Tiago, another old school Lego designer who left and now has a YouTube channel. Has been specifically made for the Natural History Museum. So you need to put that little staircase next to the museum, so it gives that space between it. I guess the alleyway leads to something else. Maybe we'll have another alleyway section connecting for the next modular next year. But it is interesting that they designed specifically for that area. But I guess it follows along. All three connect in their specific ways, 1, 2, and 3 that have been released. So the second one was the museum. The third one is going to be the Tudor. I'm excited to also see this in January, as it does have a really unique design structure. I think the coloring is really cool, and I think it will go well with anyone's modular builds. Summer rumors for Harry Potter. We have quite a few that are going to be coming this next January. The Dueling Club, the Charm Class, a motorcycle ride, which we're not going to talk about here. But then we've got some more like the Night Bus Adventure, which is actually a March 1st release. And then some are Dumbledore's Phoenix, as they've done for Hedwig, Book of Monsters. So they did that as a gift with purchase before, but this might be a fun, larger scale one. And then Aunt Marge's Visit, a quality Quidditch supplies, and ice cream, which is part of the Diagon Alley series. But one that's very interesting is going to be the Book Nook, which they've already expressed that they're going to be doing that for Lord of the Rings. But this one is going to be featuring Hogwarts Express, I guess, coming out of the books and maybe a little train station to it. Hopefully they do include minifigures in this. And I'm interested to see what the depth is going to be because, book sizes are very different. So maybe it'll be an end cap piece. Who knows? But that'll be a fun build to feature, and it's going to be about $100 for that. Now let's move into the Disney rumors for 2025. We already have some Disney sets coming out on January 1st, but it looks like we're going to get some more princess sets. Ariel is going to be one, a large-scale princess at over $100. The Toy Story Celebration Train and RC car is going to be a summer release at $40. And then a Castle and Royal Pets. Now that's $120 coming out this summer. It's going to be a friend style. Most of these are going to be that. And then with Lilo and Stitch, we're going to get a $90 set because that is going to be their house that's coming out alongside the Lilo and Stitch live action movie. There's another Disney movie coming out, a remake of the 101 Dalmatians, and it's big, $140 for that, and it's the puppies. I don't know what puppies they're going to make, but it's likely to be like Simba, but a multitude of the different puppies to go along with it. Very exciting. A lot of Friends sets are going to be like this. I wish that they would do like Elsa's Frozen Castle as one of the Castle series, but hey, maybe they will. Maybe it's just not coming this next year. The Bricklink website is coming up on its 25th anniversary and its 5th anniversary with the LEGO Group. It's going to be updating some of its other infrastructure such as site speed, responsiveness, security, and stability for the entire site. The navigation bar is also going to be updating, and that'll be happening in this coming December. But this new updated experience will also include having your LEGO account attached to it for sign-in instead of having a Bricklink one. Hopefully, with these new updates, it'll continue to improve the website more so than just having the user experience being changed, because a lot of people like what we've had for years now, and there was the backlash when they did change it. So this is just exciting. Small updates to create a more friendly website for people. LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. It's an amazing game, and it's been out for, I think, almost 2 years now. And Epic Games had it on sale this past week. It was up until Thursday. You could get it for free. Maybe they'll come out with it again, but that was part of their games giveaway that they've done, and they'll continue to do that. And hopefully we'll see not only Star Wars, but some of the other LEGO games come up free whenever in the future. A new LEGO Ideas contest has been announced. This is building the 90s nostalgia, similar to what we got for the 80s nostalgia, which is getting the Goonies set, as well as a Gremlin from Gremlins. This is now going to have 2 different contests. The first is the opening act, which you can build between 1,000 and 5,000 pieces to recreate your favorite movie scene. And the next one is called The Next Chapter, which goes live in January and collaborates with Target to build a smaller scene that's only 1,000 pieces. Now, this one's a little bit different than I've ever done because it actually follows the LEGO Ideas submission guidelines instead of just having kind of throwing your whole thing in. You can have IPs for any of the improved ones, which they just came out with for the 250 that were just released. The grand prize winner will see credit and compensation of 1% of total net sales of that product, 10 complimentary copies of the LEGO Ideas set, and credit and a bio of the LEGO Ideas fan design and set material. For the next step, they're going to do, I believe, similar, but this one will just be for a Target exclusive. So that runs from December 6th through January 6th. So you got 25 days left to build these epic models. And I already have 1 or 2 in mind. I just have to get on it and build it. 2 North Texas men were arrested for having a crime ring around Lego of $400,000, and it expanded into many different states. A 33-year-old and another 33-year-old man were both arrested in Fort Worth last week for organizing this crime ring. It's crazy to think that they organized it over different states, Oklahoma, Florida, Pennsylvania, and Texas, to steal all these sets and then resell them. The Texas DPS Sergeant Chris Williamson said it seems like it is a little small box, but if you think about it, these Legos are very valuable, not only to kids, but adults, and are very collectible. Almost $500,000 going through this, and it's crazy that they got that far to do it over multiple states, but it's nice that they were taken into custody, and will end that crime ring, and hopefully will catch more people to stop those other crime rings. Target is doing some sales already for some LEGO sets, upwards of 40% off. We already saw some of the sets bring up through their Black Friday deal, but a continuation is, I guess, happening for a couple of these sets. Not a ton of like really big sets. The Flower Celebration Gift Yellow and White Daffodils is down from $15 to $10. The Disney Villains Icons for the 100th anniversary is down from $130 to $104. And it's varying. It goes back and forth, and likely to see these continue to change over the next couple days as they do it through the weekend. Lego Rivendell is also on a major discount. We're looking at almost $100 off this set. That's quite a lot of money to be saving on such a large set. Now it might be out of stock at this point, as a lot of people probably went and bought it, but you should definitely go check out on Amazon to see if that discount is continuing. It's an amazing set. It's my primary focus behind me during my videos, and I loved the build, and of course I love Lord of the Rings, so that they did a great job with it, and I hope they continue to do the same for all the next Lego Lord of the Rings sets. Lego Ideas The Nightmare Before Christmas contestants have been announced. I entered 2 small ones. I should have entered more, but that's what happens when time catches up. The grand prize winner was the Undead Gingerbread by SJS Workshop, and creating these 2 zombie-like large-scale gingerbread men. The next follow-ups were the Man-Eating Wreath by Natkins. That was the first runner-up. Second runner-up was the Nutcrackers Gone Spooky, and there's 5 different nutcrackers with all different colorings of them, one being a ghost, a werewolf, a standard one, a zombie, which is pretty cute and kind of cool to do some of those. So that's fun, and congratulations to those winners. And that's all we have for this week's breaking news. Thank you for tuning into the podcast as always. It was a little bit shorter than last week as we didn't have to run through so many new sets. So make sure you subscribe to the podcast to keep up on all the latest. And we'll be talking about what's coming out this coming January. And Christmas is just right around the corner. First up is the Lego set 10334 Retro Radio. It's an 18 plus set and 906 pieces, 650 insiders points once it's purchased, and 193 reviews at 4.5 stars. And it'll cost you $100. So piece count, it's about 11 cents per piece, but it has some beautiful coloring as it's an aqua color. Now, when you think of like a retro radio, it's more of, I think, the 70s style of radio. It's a tall radio structure with the different grating to the front section of it and the dials on the top section with an antenna piece in the back and a nice handle, which is extremely strong, as I've seen in some of the reviews. But it has just amazing features to it. Not only the handle and the antenna moving, but when you move the dials, it'll activate a sound chip that can play Lego radio sections to it. And you can even use it as a standard speaker. You can remove the back plate and put your phone in it. Honestly, like, what a design structure. It was voted as one of the best sets by Tiago for this year, as well as because of the building techniques and features to it. But I know a lot of other people that have loved it as well. At $100, it's not super pricey, but it is a niche product. It's something that you have to love to have these old school retro products to have something like this. But the sound brick and everything has sold me. I haven't purchased it yet, but it is on the list to get at some point. Our next review is going to be our Rubricable review. This is the USS Enterprise NCC 1701 E-Class, and it's at a MIDI scale. This is from Star Trek Next Generation. You also saw it in the movies with First Contact, Insurrection, and Nemesis, and it's by Skyfox 2K. It's £5 to purchase it, so it's about $6-7 in US dollars. But they did an amazing design to it because it has the saucer section can actually be removed from the larger scale. If you open up the top section, you'll actually get the bridge design with all of our favorite characters: Picard, Data, Worf, all of them in there with a view screen included, which is an amazing detail, which you don't have to do, but they did. The dish can be separated, similar to what you saw when the Borg tried to take over in First Contact. It's 959 pieces, so it's right at the price point of what you would get for another MIDI scale ship. Being a Star Trek nerd myself, this is really great. I love Star Trek and having these MIDI scale ships. I just purchased some instructions for the Cerritos because it's just a great TV show. If you haven't watched Lower Decks, I highly recommend it. And it's on the stand. It's about 42 centimeters long, 16 centimeters wide, and 21 centimeters high. Off the stand, it's just 7 centimeters high. And yeah, just super cool, wonderfully designed. And there's some other great designs that he's done. Hopefully he'll continue in this Star Trek model, as he's done some others as well throughout with minifigures or mini builds as well. All right. Thank you so much for tuning into this week's podcast. I appreciate you stopping by. Hopefully you stop by next week. Make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel as well as this podcast, and go out and check out our Instagram at backtobrick too. Thank you again, and I'll leave you as I always do. Get creative, get out there, and go build something.